Hello and welcome to another Rant Rave review. Today I will be raving about two anime, Pluto and Monster. They're both based on manga by Naoki Urasawa, and they're just lovely. Cat and mouse again. Pluto is more of a straight up mystery. Like there's definitely a whodunit. It's about a serial killer and whatnot. Monster is more thriller and amazing. So let's get into it. Pluto is a sci-fi story kind of based on Astro Boy. I mean, it is based on Astro Boy, but obviously, it's different. It's pastiche. So basically, in this world, there's humans and there's robots, and there's laws that govern robots, but kind of give them equality with humans. And there's this robot detective. He looks like a person, but he's a robot. And he is investigating murders of both humans and robots, and people aren't sure what's going on. There's certain things that they make them think it's a serial killer. Like they always have objects placed near their head or in such a way that it looks like horns, like a calling card. And there is evidence to suggest that it is a robot, which is a huge oh no, what? Because robots aren't able to kill people. At least they haven't been able to for 8 years, because 8 years ago there was this crazy war where robots were used as soldiers. And now they don't kill people. And the 7 or 8 of the best robots in the war, who were the best at killing people, etc., now they're just leading normal lives, doing robot-y things. And they seem to be victims or in this killer's path, whoever he is, whatever he is. If he's a robot or a human, he seems to be going after these robots and also scientists related to some of these robots. So it's really fun and interesting, and partway through things change. It's one of those stories where you're watching and you're and then you're oh, okay, that just different, very different. And I really like the message. One thing I like about this guy, the specific writer, is he's very moral and good, and he can deal with some incredibly dark stuff, but in an uplifting way, which we'll get to more in Monster. But Pluto's really fun and interesting if you like sci-fi, if you like murder mysteries, if you like robots, which we all like robots, right? I do. It's good. It's worth it. It's much shorter than Monster. Has a nice little ending. Great. Monster is so it is set, I think the beginning of the show is set, it starts during the Cold War, and then there's a time skip after the Cold War, and it's set in, I think it's in Germany, but it's basically the edge of the Iron Curtain and not the Iron Curtain. And there's a doctor. He's really good at his job. He's the best. He has the hands of God. Not quite. That's Osamu Tezuka. No, but he's a great surgeon, great brain surgeon. He's living it up pretty great. And at some point, he has to he has some moral dilemmas going on about who he should save. If you have two different patients, which one should you operate on, etc., etc. He has some professional conflicts going on, and then at one point there's this foreign dignitary who's in town. He has these twin kids. Someone murders the foreign dignitary and his wife and shoots one of the kids in the head, and he's so he has to do brain surgery on this kid. Cool. All right. And he gets in some trouble for having done that, because he could have done surgery on a different person. Okay, whatever. Moving on with their lives. Okay. Time skip. Oh, actually, at the time, the two kids disappeared. The two twins. So he did the surgery, and at some point, it's a little boy and a little girl. The little boy was the one who got shot. They disappear. No one knows what happened to them. Time skip. About, I would say, 10 or so years later. So he's living his life, again, as a doctor, and there's some murders happening. People get killed. And it turns out, and this is not really spoiling anything, this is the premise of the show, the kid who he saved is a psychopathic serial killer. So the doctor, in some way, is kind of responsible for having saved his life. And the kid is like slightly like, not obsessed with him, but very much this connection. And so that's going on. And so basically, and then there's like, what part of all this is his twin sister playing? And also like these two kids were actually adopted by the foreign dignitaries. So what's up with that? So there's lots of little threads throughout this story. And even though the main conflict of the doctor trying to figure out and catch and stop this murderous young man, Johann is his name, you have that like cat and mouse conflict. There's always this like who's doing what. But there's also a lot of mystery threads of like, who are these kids? Where did they come from? Somehow a lot of this is related to like weird shenanigans happening in Eastern Europe during the Cold War. Strange. Human experimentation? Maybe. That's a bonus. And then there's other figures playing in as well. Other people who may or may not have been experimented on. There's this cop. You gotta have that like cop character. He's like, I'm gonna get him. Lung is his name. He's amazing. There's just so many interesting characters in this story. It's very, very long. I think it's like 3 or 4 seasons. But it's super duper worth it. It's twisty and turny. And again, you have little characters who will show up one episode and then like next season they show up and do something crazy. It's one of those shows, I always say like I love shows where multiple people will end up in one location. That happens from time to time. And much like Pluto, it has really interesting like morality. It is much darker. And I will just say, some of the things Johann does, like the killing people is not the worst thing he does. Like, he's just like a manipulator. And there's just certain parts where you're like, oh my gosh, like it's just awful. It's just awful. It's not like, I don't think it's gory or anything. I don't think you've ever seen like viscera or anything. But just, he's not a nice person. And the things that it goes into some really dark stuff. But it's fascinating the way it shows it. There's definitely a sense of right and wrong and like doing the right thing and life having meaning despite weird stuff and bad circumstances. There is one episode that like, it's in, I think, the second to last season. And it blew my mind with how dark it gets and then how like amazing it like rises from the ashes. I was like, how do you write something this good? Like, I wish someday I could write something this good. So definitely, if you like cat and mouse, if you like morality tales, if you like thrillers and suspense and Eastern European human experimentation, definitely see it. It's very slow. I would say it's not as slow as Death Note, but if you like Death Note, you'd love Monster. And if you love just really good stories, see Monster. Yes, and Pluto. So yeah, that's my little short review. Rave, rave, rave. It's all great. Oh, also, by the way, you should feed the Algorgator by liking and subscribing. He's so skinny. He's so skinny. All right, see you next time. Bye.